Our client, Miss E, suffered horrific acts of domestic violence in her home country for a period of more than 10 years, including sexual violence, physical battery, and death threats. Miss E fled with her young daughter to find safety in the United States. She eventually found help at Sanctuary for Families. With her asylum hearing fast approaching, no sanctuary attorney was available to take her case. Remarkably, the Covington team stepped in and agreed to represent Miss E and her daughter just 2 months before their scheduled asylum hearing. The team prepared the client and witness affidavits, compiled the necessary evidence, and drafted the pre-hearing brief in a matter of weeks. In an impressive feat of client-centered advocacy, unwavering commitment, and exceptional lawyering, the team balanced a seemingly impossible timeline while making sure they listened to the clients and presented their stories in their full nuance and complexity. Their extensive efforts working with Miss E and her daughter resulted in the granting of asylum to both of them. In the face of all they have been through, Miss E's daughter spoke with the team about her desire to become a nurse and support herself. Congratulations to this team for going above and beyond. The extraordinary team includes Anne Lee, Bree Peilen, Janna Yu, Julia Blackburn, Brigid Larkin, and Anna Duong of Covington and Burling.
The most rewarding part about this case was seeing how the mother began to heal and flourish. When we first met her, she was carrying so much pain and fear, and while there was nothing we can do to erase her past, we could do something to make her life a little bit easier going forward. And since their asylum was granted, we've seen how confident she has become, but most importantly, we're seeing how she's now having dreams of a better future, not only for her daughter, but also for herself. In this case, I learned that survivors of gender-based violence often remember stories in fragments and not in chronological order because of trauma. So in order to better understand our client's story, we first focused in creating a safe space where they felt comfortable sharing with us before we started asking difficult questions. This approach is what ultimately led us to succeed, because we were able to explain to the court why granting asylum was necessary for their safety. The most memorable part for me was when the judge granted asylum after a long back and forth with the government. The hearing ended and the client hugged the entire team and began crying. But then she walked out of the courtroom, gave the news to her daughter, and they hugged and cried for several minutes. And while watching them, I realized that this was probably the first time in years that they felt safe.